Industrial hygiene is essential because it helps to protect employees from several types of injuries and illnesses, including non-fatal illnesses, respiratory conditions, skin diseases, poisoning, hearing loss, repetitive stress injuries. Let's start with the introduction of respiratory system. The respiratory system is the network of organs and tissues that helps to breathe. The human respiratory system includes the nose, the pharynx, the larynx, the trachea, the bronchi, and the lungs. We will discuss about each of them in the following sections. The muscles of respiration, that is diaphragm, and intercostal muscles work to drive air, which contains a mixture of gases, including oxygen, into the lungs. Gas exchange takes place at the alveoli, where oxygen moves into the body's bloodstream to supply the cells, and carbon dioxide is returned to the lungs from the cells, and is released out as the muscles relax. The cycle then begins again. In this slide, we will discuss about the anatomy of eye. As the eyes are round in shape, each one of the two eyeballs is located in the orbit, where it takes up about 1/5 of the orbital volume. Eye colors vary from blue, green, or amber to all shades of brown. There are some components in the eye. Those structures together build the anatomy of the eye. Also, along with the components, there is the secondary structure, which helps the eye to smoothly look around. People of all ages can develop noise-induced hearing loss. The jobs and industries with the highest risk of noise-induced hearing loss include agriculture, carpentry, mining, oil or gas extraction, construction, military. The dermis makes up 90% of skin's thickness. This middle layer of skin has collagen and elastin. Collagen is a protein that makes skin cells strong and resilient. Another protein found in the dermis, elastin, keeps skin flexible. Grows hair. The roots of hair follicles attached to the dermis. Keeps you in touch. Nerves in the dermis tell you when something is too hot to touch, itchy or super soft. These nerve receptors also help you feel pain. Makes oil. Oil glands in the dermis help keep the skin soft and smooth. Produces sweat. Sweat glands in the dermis release sweat through skin pores. Sweat helps regulate the body temperature. Supplies blood. Blood vessels in the dermis provide nutrients to the epidermis, keeping the skin layers healthy. Now, we will discuss about personnel training. Hazard identification. Recognize and understand solvent hazards. Safe handling. Follow proper techniques for handling and storing solvents. Personal protective equipment. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment. Ventilation. Ensure well-designed systems to control solvent vapors. Waste management. Properly label, contain, and dispose of solvents. Spill response. Know how to contain and manage solvent spills. Health monitoring. Be aware of potential health effects and report symptoms. Equipment maintenance. Regularly inspect and maintain solvent-related equipment. Training and communication. Foster a culture of continuous training and open communication. Regulatory compliance. Understand and adhere to industry regulations and standards. Now, gases. Asphyxiation. Some gases can displace oxygen in the air leading to oxygen deficient environments, especially in confined spaces, causing asphyxiation and potential harm to workers. Toxicity. Many industrial gases are toxic and can cause immediate health effects or long-term health issues upon inhalation, leading to respiratory and other health problems. Flammability. Flammable gases can ignite and form explosive mixtures in the presence of an ignition source, posing a significant risk of fire and explosions in industrial settings. Air pollutants. Certain gases can react in the atmosphere and contribute to the formation of air pollutants, impacting air quality and potentially harming both workers and the surrounding environment. Now, we are discuss about what are the health effects of particulate matter. Health effects of particulate matter on workers are premature death in people with heart or lung disease, non-fatal heart attacks, irregular heartbeat, aggravated asthma, decreased lung function, increased respiratory symptoms such as irritation of the airways, coughing or difficulty breathing. Here, we are going to discuss about predisposing factors. There are many predisposing factors for occupational skin diseases. These factors can be divided into a few main categories, which include risk factors. Various factors contribute to the degree and extent of hearing loss resulting from exposure to high levels of noise. These factors include intensity of the noise, type of noise, period of exposure each day, total work duration, individual susceptibility, age of the worker, coexisting hearing loss and ear disease, character of the surroundings in which the noise is produced, distance from the source, position of the ear with respect to sound waves, genetic damage. Ionizing radiation can cause damage to DNA, which can result in genetic mutations that can be passed down to future generations. Cataracts. Exposure to high levels of radiation can cause cataracts to develop, which can lead to vision impairment or blindness. Skin damage. Ionizing radiation can damage skin cells, leading to burns, reddening, and other skin issues. Now, we will discuss about laser. In this, we will discuss some points. Biological damage mechanisms of lasers. Standards and controls. Laser pointers. Non-beam hazards of lasers. Other regulatory concerns with lasers. Increased metabolic rate. The body's metabolic rate may increase in response to cold as it tries to produce more heat to maintain internal temperature. Insulative measures. The body may attempt to conserve heat by triggering mechanisms such as piloerection and increased production of subcutaneous fat. Work task. Positioning the body in relation to the computer. Healthy work postures. Designing for vision, manipulation, and body support. Designing the sit-down workstation. Designing the stand-up workstation. Designing the home office. Fitting it all together. Now, we will discuss about current topics in biosafety. In this topic, we will discuss some points. Bloodborne pathogens. Tuberculosis. Bioterrorism. Legionellosis. Building-related bioaerosol problems. Biological hazards associated with non-infectious agents. Now we will talk about Effects of exposure to air contaminants. This is of two types. Irritation. Irritation is an inflammation or aggravation of the tissue the substance contacts. Contact of some substances with the face and upper respiratory system affects the eyes, the cells lining the nose, and the mouth. Irritation results from direct mechanical or chemical reaction with constituents in the tissue having contact. Irritation or inflammation is the major health effect of corrosive, inherent in the storage of large quantities of highly hazardous or flammable chemicals, is the risk of catastrophic releases that would prove injurious or fatal both to employees and to those living in the immediate vicinity of the facility. On December 2, 1984, methyl isocyanides was released from Union Carbide's pesticide plant in Bhopal, India, which caused at least 6,500 deaths and an estimated 20,000 to 50,000 serious injuries. This experience taught the world a tragic lesson about worker and community consequences of an unexpected chemical release and the need for controls and emergency preparedness. Now, we will discuss about direct reading instruments, fibrous aerosol monitor, respirable dust monitor, chemiluminescence, combustion, electrical conductivity, thermal conductivity, coulometry, flame ionization, potentiometry, photometry, pyrographic analysis, gas chromatography, combustible gas monitors, oxygen monitors, carbon monoxide monitors, indoor air quality monitors, mercury vapor monitors, formaldehyde vapor monitor, direct reading calorimetric tubes and badges, other calorimetric direct reading devices. Personal hygiene. It is an essential component of administrative controls in managing workplace hazards. It involves promoting and enforcing good personal hygiene practices among workers to minimize the risk of exposure to contaminants and maintain a safe and healthy work environment. Some key aspects of personal hygiene in administrative controls include hand washing. Encouraging and establishing proper hand washing practices among workers is crucial in preventing the spread of contaminants. Personal protective equipment. This may involve providing appropriate PPE, such as gloves, masks, or protective clothing, and ensuring that workers understand how to properly wear, use, and dispose of PPE to prevent contamination or exposure. Personal cleanliness. Encouraging workers to maintain personal cleanliness helps minimize the spread of contaminants and reduces the risk of cross-contamination. Respiratory etiquette. Promoting respiratory etiquette practices, such as covering coughs and sneezes with a tissue or elbow, can help prevent the spread of airborne contaminants. Food handling and consumption. Establishing guidelines for safe food handling and consumption is essential in industries where workers handle or consume food on site. The safety measures are continuous monitoring. Continuous monitoring of air quality and environmental conditions is essential in enclosed spaces. Gas detectors and sensors should be deployed to detect oxygen levels, toxic gases, and other potential hazards. Entry permits and training. Workers should receive specialized training on working in confined spaces, understanding the potential risks and safety procedures. Lockout or tagout procedures. Enclosed spaces often require lockout or tagout procedures to ensure that equipment and machinery are safely de-energized and isolated during entry. Communication and emergency response. Workers inside should have means to communicate emergencies, and a robust emergency response plan should be in place to rescue workers in distress. PPE and equipment. Workers should be provided with appropriate personal protective equipment, including respirators, gas detectors, and fall protection gear. Now, we will discuss about where is respiratory protection used. Worker use respiratory protection against insufficient oxygen environment, harmful dusts, fogs, smokes, mists, gases, vapors, sprays. These hazards may cause cancer, lung impairment diseases, or death.